Hey man, say man. What it do, so with the camp shot like a little big boss hog, boss dog, can't pop through the door. Hit the top to his box, fucking around soliloquy. Every 12 times don't last, good people do the enough self. Caught him in the foul line, maybe you matter. Peak game, peak game. 84's gonna swing. Y'all remember, we clutched up, we clutched out. You know what we're talking about. That boxing. Before we get the main out, try the main dish, gotta introduce our second host, future Hall of Famer. Salute to all our soldiers. Brody on the hustle, aka Coach B. Let them know how you doing, man.
What it is, folks, just like K-Po said, we clutched up, we clutched out. Y'all know we're here to talk about that boxing, man. Hey, y'all know what I'm finna tell y'all next. God wake you up, he put breath in your body, everything else is extra. Get up, do you, take care of the fam. Hey, and for those souls out there that may be feeling lost and hopeless, hey, it's somebody out there for you. It's somebody out there who want to hear your story. Somebody out there who care for you. Hey, dial that mental health hotline. I know we just had a young soul take himself in the NFL. I know it's not boxing, but at the same time, our lives matter. You know what I'm saying? Call that mental health line. 988 is the number again. 988 is the number. Dial that number if you ever in stress and you feel like taking yourself out. But with all that being said, I'm finna pass it back to K Poe. Let's let them know how we flow and continue the show.
And as far as Vergil Ortiz, we finna get on his tail in a minute because, I'm just gonna be real with you. According to before the fight, they were saying that Boots was ducking, right? And I mean, to my audience, I want y'all to respond in the comment section. Y'all said Boots was ducking. Me and Coach B, we guilty. We made videos saying Boots was ducking. It looked like he's ducking. Well, Boots gets into the middle of the ring after the fight, and they have their little verbal spat, and the energy ain't the same. So, Coach, we gonna stop right there because we got a lot we could dissect. We gonna stop right there. Did you see the clash, the argument, the face to face, the face off? What did you think about that? What did you think about Boots stepping to Vergil Ortiz, letting them know, yeah, I want to fight and you gonna pay because your daddy, your promoter, all these boys was talking. They finna, you gonna pay for them. Let me know something.
At that point, when I seen Boots get the ring and I started paying attention to it, first thing I look at is demeanor. Demeanor is the first thing that I start paying attention to. And as Boots starts approaching the ring and as he gets in the ring and as he, marches closer towards Ortiz, I checked out the demeanor of Ortiz and his team. Immediately, yeah, I think it was some snakes in the boots. I think they got a little shaky. They got a little finicky. They got a little nervous. It was some nervous energy in between the two. Yeah, it was a little, a little intensity, but I think it was more intense for Boots' side versus Ortiz side. Ortiz side was a little, a little shaky, and I think, the way they presented themselves and the verbiage they used in the conversation amongst the two was, more like, hey, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't want to do it, but then it also sounded like, oh shoot, now he's in my face, now we kind of gotta sway, we gotta push the story and get the fans to think otherwise. So in my opinion, I think it was some nervous energy. Definitely you could tell that now that Boots is in Ortiz's face, you can definitely tell it was some it was a lie somewhere in between the fact of them sending Boots sending him an offer, and somebody didn't respond, and somebody didn't take the offer. And now that I'm looking at the situation, face to face on television in the ring with each other, I kind of think, I ain't gonna say I kind of think, I kind of know what happened in the scenario in the situation between Boots and Ortiz's camp. Ortiz and his camp, along with De La Hoya, are not willing to risk it at this moment with getting in the ring with Boots because they know what's going to happen. They know what's going to happen. I'm not gonna sit here and say Boots gonna body bag and toe tag and beat the brakes off him, but they know that's a L. They know that's a L. And they not trying to take that L right now, especially Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions. They not trying to take that L. They got a lot riding on Ortiz. They think Ortiz is the guy that can get the promotion company back to the top tier manner. They think Ortiz is the guy that can basically get all the belts, make himself look good, and like I say, retool and rebrand the Golden Boy promotion brand. So right now they know if they get in there with Boots, that's a huge risk. That's huge. There's a lot of other implications, pertaining to getting in the ring with Boots that they could lose out on if they lose that fight to Boots if they were to accept it. So like I said, I was looking at the demeanor. I'm listening to the exchange of words. I'm listening to the conversation. I'm looking at the eyes of each fighter and how they really, addressing each other. And I'm like, okay, Ortiz camp is really that team over there is really nervous about Jaron Boots Ennis, and it is what it is. You can be nervous all you want. That's fine. But at the same time, we're gonna call a spade a spade. Like K already mentioned, me and him are both guilty of saying, "Hey, Boots ducked Vergil Ortiz," but now, I'm not afraid to backtrack and say, "Hey, I believe we was wrong. I think Ortiz and his camp ducking Boots at this point." And there's other things that come along with it, but I'm gonna let K-Po give his little spiel on how he felt, and there's other things we're gonna talk about it amongst Vergil Ortiz and what goes along with this Jerron Boots in his situation.
Um, I originally when I saw them in the ring, um, it really did nothing for me because I'm like, is this gonna get the fight done? Like, I mean, we could do the face off and all that. That's cool for promotion, but are they fighting? That's my thing, right? But Boots, I seen people saying Boots sound spook. Boots stepped to Vergil Ortiz. He came to a fight that he had no dealings of being at, right? They ain't have no fighters of his at the fight. He showed up to the fight to show that, hey, I want to fight. This the fight that should be next, right? And I just think that Boots now is locked in on Vergil Ortiz, and I think that Robert Garcia, Rick Milligren, which is one of Vergil Ortiz's promoters, Oscar De La Hoya, and the Golden Boy brand, they didn't expect Boots Ennis to come down there, right? They thought that, oh man, he ain't gonna come down here, right? He ain't gonna come down here and fight us. He ain't gonna come down here and talk to us. And Boots actually came down there. And Boots like, look, man, let's fight. Let's get it cracking. Let's make this happen next, right? And Boots, I mean, all you gotta do is look at his interviews. After he stopped Lima, they asked him. He said, "I want Vergil Ortiz. That's the fight I want." But he said like, "Hey, if they back off the block, then they start asking him about other fighters." He was like, "I want all the fighters. I want all of them." But he said, "I want Vergil Ortiz," and he's kept that same sentiment. Not so much from Vergil Ortiz, but we're gonna get in that in a minute. So my thing is, I believe that his team knows, and I'm talking about Vergil Ortiz team. They know that man can't beat no Jambu Sinis. Oscar De La Hoya knows. All of them know he can't beat no Jambu Sinis. Right? It's the same scenario when they asked Oscar De La Hoya, can Ryan Garcia beat Javante Tank Davis back in the day? And Oscar De La Hoya said, no, Tank's a beast. Right? He know Jaron Bucinis will body bag and toe tag Vergil Ortiz. Right? But Golden Boy got a plan. Like Coach B mentioned. The plan is to try to promote Vergil Ortiz, try to get him to fight Errol, and just kind of build that brand up and basically win over a fan base.